Today at the BRI forum, we heard from Antonio Guterres, the UN Secretary General. We've heard from leaders from across the world in Latin America, Southeast Asia was represented, Africa was represented. What was the moment that you thought, wow, this is what BRI has really brought, the utility, the merits of the BRI that have made a real impact for people around the world?
I think so. I was looking, there were a plethora of nuances and many shades to the conversation around the idea of the BRI. But when I was focusing more on the geographical representation, like as you mentioned, American continent, European continent, Southeast Asia, African continent. So you do realize that global connectivity, the connectivity between the oceans, the connectivity between the lands, the connectivity in aviation sector, in the air, that dream seems to be realizing itself. This is probably unprecedented in the documented human history. Mankind has never seen such level, such depth of physical connectivity with one another, which definitely does stimulate our civilizational connectivity, our cultural connectivity, which would diversify the human interaction more, not just diversification, but I think so that sense of inclusiveness of diversified background, be it religious, ethnic, racial, that would become a new normal. And that new normal would be a byproduct of BRI's physical connectivity.
Mr. Prime Minister, many consider BRI as epitomizing, encapsulating the Chinese approach, the Chinese mentality, the Chinese way of wanting the world to be like in the future. How would you compare the BRI in particular against existing or previous multilateral frameworks?
I think so the main difference over here to me seems that it is the economic tool rather than the tool of the force, which becomes an agent of change. And by that agent of change, I do not see a sort of a monologue cultural identity at a global scale or even at a regional scale. The best part about this Chinese model is that it is very deeply entrenched in its own sense of identity, in its own sense of culture, its own sense of history, but at the same time, it does discern and differentiate and appreciate the differences. And it does not hate differences, it values those differences.